Hi, this is Sharon. Welcome back to my channel. Before I go into today's tutorial, I wanted to show you some things that I have made recently. So I made this granny square blanket, and this was a pattern by Lion Brand. I bought it as a kit. And then this is the Easy Breezy shawl by Kristen Amdahl, and it's a pattern on her website, and I'll link that information below. But since everything is kind of on a granny square pattern, I thought I would show you how I make my granny squares. So stay tuned and I'll start my lesson. To make our granny square, we're going to start with a slip knot. And you don't need to leave a long tail because we're going to be crocheting right over that tail and weaving it in. So here's my slip knot, and I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then I want to insert my hook into the first chain that we made. So remember that the loop on the hook doesn't count, so I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going in here, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then I'm going to pull that straight through with a slip stitch, and that's going to make a circle for me to crochet into. So I want to put my tail down so that I can crochet right over that tail, and I'm going to chain 3, and that chain 3 is going to count as my first double crochet. So there's my chain 3, also being used as my first double crochet. Yarn over, pull up a loop, go through 2, go through 2, yarn over, go into that circle, pull up a loop, go through 2, go through 2. So now I have my 3 double crochets, and I'm going to chain 2, and now I'm going to do 3 more double crochets. So yarn over, go into that circle, pull up a loop, chain 2, go through 2, go through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, go through 2, go through 2. I just want to get my tail straightened out here. Yarn over, go through 2, go through 2. So that's another 3 double crochets, chain 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, go through 2 and 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, through 2 and 2, and 1 more. And now we have another set of 3 double crochets. We're going to chain 2, and this is going to be our last set of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and if you run out of room, you can pull your work down and give yourself some more room so that your stitches are not all squished up together. Okay, and then you're going to chain 2, and then we want to connect into that 3rd stitch that we originally made, our chain 3. We're going to slip stitch, slip stitch to connect, and then chain 1 to end, and then cut it off, pull up that loop, and now we have our first part of our granny square. So now I'm going to take another color, and I'm going to turn my square I'm going to start in this corner. Okay, I'm going to join my black and have my slip knot. Okay, and I'm going to, since I secured with a slip stitch, but that kind of is a chain 1 already, so I'm going to chain 2 more. 1, 2, and that's going to be my first double crochet. So I'm going to do 2 more double crochets. And now I have 3 double crochets in that corner. Now different people do granny squares differently. Some people will do a chain 1 to get over this cluster of double crochets. I learned from Krista in the Secret Yarnery. I like the way that she does hers. So she just jumps right over into the next corner. And I'm going to show you how to do the corner stitch. This is a little bit different, this first one, since we're starting, and I'll show you how we join to that when we come around. But this is how we're going to do our corners from now on. So we're going to yarn over and do our 3 double crochets. 1, excuse my clock, 2, 3, chain 2, and we're going to put 3 more right in that same corner. And as I said before, you can just slide it down if you need more room. 1, 2, and 3. Get my tail out of there. So now for our corner, we have 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 double crochets, and that's how our corners will look. So now we're going to skip over to our next corner and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. And now we have 2 corners finished. Let's go on to our third. And once again, we're doing 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and now we have our 3 corners finished. And now for the start of our first corner that we did, we need to do 3 more double crochets in there. So now 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 2, and now we're going to connect to that chain 3 that we did when we first started our square. So now slip stitch, and then chain 1, up my yarn, pull that up, push that down, and now we have our 4 corners, our red in the center and our black with our 4 corners. So now I'm going to change colors again, and I'm going to show you how we do this center space now. Okay, for our next color, again, start with slip knot, and I had ended here, so I'm going to go over here to this next corner. And chain 2 more. And now I'm going to make 2 more double crochets in this corner. There's 1 and 2. And now I'm coming over to our center space here, and I'm just going to do my 3 single crochets right into that center space. 1, 2, 3. And that's how we're going to be doing all of these center spaces. They only get 3 double crochets in them. And now I'm going into a corner, so a corner gets 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So we're going to go right into that corner and do that. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 more double crochets in that same corner space. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going right over to that next center space. 1, 2, and 3. And now I'm going into another corner. So I'm doing 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2. Whoops. And 3 double crochets in that same corner space. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going into that center. So that gets 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going into another corner. So once again, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2. And 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm in the center space, so that gets 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm back to my original first corner, and we already have a cluster of 3 double crochets, but we need a second cluster. So I'm going to do 3 double crochets in that corner. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and now I'm going to join to that third chain from when we started with a slip stitch, and now I'm going to chain 1, cut my yarn, pull out that loop and push that down, and now we have our next part of our granny square. So as you can see, the corners all have 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and the spaces have 3 double crochets. So now I'm going to change colors again, and I'll show you how to do another row. So I'm going to go back to my red. And chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 more double crochets, and now I have 2 spaces to go into, so I'm going right over and doing 3 double crochets, and the 1 space, and now the next space, 1, 2, 3, and now I'm back to a corner. So again, we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, and now I have another space, so I'm going to chain 3, 1, I'm sorry, do 3 double crochets, not chain 3, 3 double crochets in that space, and we're going to continue this way all the way around, and I will meet you back at the beginning to show you how to end this section. Okay, and I just finished my 3 double crochets in that next center space, and now I'm coming up to my original corner from where I started. So I need to do my 3 double crochets, getting that tail out of the way. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to chain 2 and slip stitch into that third chain from when we started, slip stitch, yarn over and chain 1, pull that down, and now I have the next section of my granny square. And now you would continue doing this. You would start out, I would turn and go into the next corner, and you'll do 3 double crochets to start out, and then each of these spaces would get 3 double crochets. You have 1, 2, 3 spaces that would each get 3 double crochets, and then in the corner you would do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then your 3 spaces each get 3 double crochets, and then your corner, once again, we get the 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and so on until you get back to your corner, and then you would do your 3 double crochets, chain 2, and connect. So that is how we do granny squares with changing colors. And I'm actually going to do one more color on this, and in my next video I will show you how to do a granny square if you're not changing colors and just doing it all in one color. So I will see you in the next video. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed if you are not. And as I said, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.